Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I can see all your no's coming in there that you can't hear me, but the second slide loaded up before the first, but that's no problem. So you're all very welcome. Well, this is Bryan, of course, the web design educator at Shaw Academy, and you're all extremely welcome to the practical session of Lesson 6, Graphics and Media on the World Wide Web. So in this lesson, we are going to be going through those applications that we're looking at the last one, and we're going to be making some things just so that we can get some experience using some other applications that as web designers will be dipping in and out of in our own projects. So very quickly, just to make sure that everybody out there can hear me, let's just run a quick sound test. So can you hear me? If you can hear me, please type yes into your chat box. So hi there, Wayne, Histro, Alfred. Hi there, Anne, Grant, Jeffrey, Lon, Beverly, Brendan, Sue, Michael, Tassir, Robert, Mark, David, Ziklia, Vanessa, Lena, Paula, David, and Victor. Hi there, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So perfect. All right. Well, yes, and we are recording, so this will be up on your dashboard, tomorrow anyway, so that will go up there. So in the last lesson, I was explaining to you, I was showing you some various applications that can be very handy to us as web designers. So I opened them up just to show you the user interface. So did everyone download the applications? Did you all get the links through the Facebook group? And were you able to download them all? Yeah? Did anyone have a little play around, see what they can do, just right off the bat without ever going into them before? All right, very good, very good, very good. All right, very good. All right, so yes, so that's so what we're going to do. And all my Mac users out there, were you able to get Inkscape up and running on your Mac with getting the Quartz and X11, all that kind of stuff? Yeah. So Inkscape. So guys, anyone who's using Inkscape on Mac, the first time you open it, it can take up to half an hour to open the application. So if you're using Inkscape on a Mac, it seems like it's frozen, but what you have to do is you have to open it and you have to leave it run there for half an hour. So what's handy is what I did the first time I did it, was I did it just before going to sleep. So I opened it up on my laptop and then I just went to sleep. And then when I woke up in the morning, it was open. And then the next time you close the application and open it up again, it will open up just like any application at the same speed. It will actually open up faster than GIMP on a Mac the second time opening. So that's what happens there. All right. Yes, so you do need X11, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways to get your vector images working. I'd say just Google how to make vector images. There's plenty of applications. I just like Inkscape for making the vectors because it's just nice and handy, and we're going to go into it anyway and take a look at it. SketchUp is very handy for making 3D models, and I'm sure if any of you have tried putting a little box or a little circle on the screen and tried to move it around, it's great fun. Anyway, we'll be doing that again today. Image manipulation, we'll be using that. We'll go into there, take a look at the interface, and we'll make a GIF. I'll show you how to use layers to make GIFs. And then we'll also actually make the Be Water My Friend appear on CodePen. So I figured out what was going on. I'm pretty sure I was loading up an MOV, which has very, very, very bad compatibility with browsers. MP4. Like I mentioned, the last lesson is the best file format for videos on the web. MP4, and then you should usually back it up with something like an OGG or a WebM format as well. But MP4, it's really well. It works really well. All right, so. First thing I'm going to do is let's break into Inkscape. So I'm going to open up my Inkscape application, and I am going to create a new. Come here to me. Thank you. There we have it. So I am going to create a new Inkscape. So let me just close that. I can leave that clock. Perfect. All right, so that's what happens when you open up Inkscape. You just get a nice basic scene. Now, what's going to happen is I'm just going to draw. So like I said yesterday, I asked you what you wanted to make. So we said that we'll make some penguins. Yeah, so we'll make some penguins. So something that I've noticed quite a lot. I'll just open up my browser very quickly just so you can see where I'm drawing inspiration from. You might notice that graphic design is getting a bit weird at the moment. You know, it's like you get like these flat, there's a lot of flat design, but really, really nice flat design with these colors and getting rid of shadows, making more realistic shadows. Look at these things. Look at these. Pokemon, yeah? But look, they're just circles, and they actually look quite nice. They actually look quite cute for what they are. But at the end of the day, the graphic designer was drawing circles, drawing lines, and creating little arcs. You can see how easy it could actually be if you break these down. So just as we break down a web page into boxes, into a box inside another box, we can actually break down a lot of images just down to their basic shapes and put them all together. So that's what we're going to try and attempt now. We're going to try and attempt to draw a penguin. So what I'll do is I'll start with a circle, and I'll make a circle. There we have that. So I think that will be the body. So there's my circle icon over here, where you can see on the left I've got a whole range of tools to work with, and then I can use this mouse then to click it and drag it around and do stuff like that. Yeah, so there we have that. So there's my penguin circle, there's its body. What I'll do next is I'll give it a gradient, so this one down here. What you can do, because there's just far too many buttons to actually show you what each and every single one of them mean, you kind of just learn to use them as time goes on. So when I first opened Inkscape, I don't open it and try to learn what every single one of these buttons do. I try to do something. So right now I'm trying to create a penguin. I've created my circle for the body, but now I want a bit of a gradient in there. So I already hovered over each one of every these until I found the one that said gradient. So create and edit gradients. That's perfect. So I'll just double click here just to add a gradient. There it is. I can drag these bars, and I didn't know what these things did. Well, I assumed what they did, but sure, I didn't know until I started clicking and dragging them around the first time I used the application, because exploring is really the best way. You know, you're not really going to break anything. Go ahead and just explore. You know, if you get to a point where you can't get back to, you want to go back to the way the original settings were, just close the application, reopen it. Really, you get so much further along in all technology courses if you explore. Yeah, you really have to explore and just try out new things. It's how you can really progress in these kind of fields. All right, so there's my gradient. I'm going to edit it now. So look, a little page with a pencil on it. That's, you know, universal sign now for edit. So I can edit that, and then I can see up here I've got some colors. So let's see what I can do here. So that's the starting color, obviously, because look, it's black down there, and I can see it goes to kind of a see-through black, which will be the top. So I'm going to select the bottom one, and I'm going to keep that black. Let's go back to my gradient again, and edit, and let us stop it at a nice dark grey. Like that. That's perfect. Now I want the gradient to go from bottom to top, so I'll just move my lines around to move the gradient. So there we have it. So now I've got kind of like an egg-looking thing. So that will do me fine. All right, let's make some more shapes. So let me try to do this in order. So I'm going to want the eyes. So I'm going to need some eyes. I'm going to need a nose, and I'm going to want a belly as well. Now the belly is going to sit underneath the nose, and the nose is going to sit underneath the eyes. So I could create layers, and you'll see there's see this little icon here on my right hand side. That's view layers. So I could create layers and start creating more and more layers so that I can easily separate them all and everything like that. But I don't really need to, because it's just going to be a penguin. So I'll just draw it in order. So next I'll make a stomach. So there we have it. We'll make that white, and then I'll use my click tool so I can adjust the size of that and adjust the position. So there we have that. Right, and what I'll do is I'll zoom in. So to zoom in nice and quickly on most of these applications, you hold down your control key and then you scroll. A lot of you might have realized when using some of these applications, scrolling up and down lets it go. Well, it just actually moves the page up and down. So in most applications, if you hold down control on a Windows computer or the command key on a Mac, and then you use your two fingers to scroll in on the Mac, well, that will usually zoom in most applications. So there we have it. So there's the penguin belly. Next thing, I'm going to want a nose. So let me see, how can I make a nose? Well, what I can do is I can see some shape icons here. So if I was to maybe, perfect. So that's actually a star icon. See up here, I've got all the properties, which will be up in the menu bar, where all the kind of the settings are, the default settings. So I can actually make that into, you know, a star, or a or five-pointed star, four-pointed star, or a three-pointed star, which is a triangle. So that will do me perfectly. So I'll take that and I'll put that down there. Now I need to rotate you. Now how did I rotate you last time? Let's see if I can click and drag you around to make you the way I want. Let me see. There we go. That will do me. Now if only I could get you a little bit straighter. So I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. How can I rotate you around ever so slightly? That's not going to rotate you. Double click once for rotation option. What do you mean click once for the rotation option, if I may know? Double click on this. Fantastic, guys. So you have been exploring. Brilliant. Oh, well, oh, that's going to edit my pathways. Actually, that will actually give me a better beak. Anyway, hey, we'll have it as a crooked beak because we're already 10 minutes in and we've only got a beak. So let's just quickly do this. You can keep exploring this yourself. We're just going to do this simply because this will be a nice progression. Because this is going to be an SVG. We're going to export this as a vector graphic, and then we are going to export this as a PNG, and then we're going to suck the PNG into GIMP, and then we are going to use that PNG to create a GIF, a blinking one. So, whoops, Control Z. There we have that. So now I'm going to create my eyes. So there's one eye. And I can copy that and paste that over there. And I'll just use that to move that over there, like so. So there's my penguin. I'll just move that to cover up his beak a little bit. Let's just tidy that up ever so slightly, just like so. What I can do is I can stick that in there like that. Pull that down like so. So there we have that. Widen ever so slightly. There we have that. Okay, next thing up, we have our nice little circles for his eyes. So we'll put that like that. And what I'll do is I'll make that black. And I'll move that over down here, like so. And Control C and Control V. All right. So now my penguin is slightly misshapen. So let me just tidy him up a tiny bit. So let's just make him slightly rounder, slightly cuter. There we go. So there we have it. Now I've got a nice, cute little penguin. And the last thing he needs is just his little flippers. All right. And I'll leave out the feet, but I'll give him some flippers. So let me just see how would that look if I went like that. If I brought you over ever so slightly, like so, and then I copy you and Control V, and then put you over there like so. And there we have it. So there we have it. We've got a nice lopsided penguin. So let us just add some gradients. So that's one gradient. Let's click that one there. Let's use the predefined gradient that I've already made, and that one there. So there we have it. We've got a nice little penguin. Let's just straighten up his arms a little bit. There we have it. Perfect. So let me see if that's that on the y-axis, and that's 317. So you see up here, I've actually got the coordinates. Yeah, thank you. He does actually look kind of cute. And you will notice with graphic design, you know, you can make things elongated, and they don't look as cute. But then when you make them nice and rounded, the more rounded I find you make your characters, the cuter that they end up looking. So let me just go like this. Boom. There we have him. So that's cute enough. He looks like a baby penguin. So we've got that. Now, if you want to be very, so I'm looking at this, and I really want everything to start matching up. Yeah, I want to make the eyes level and everything like that. Now I could, but it's going to take a while because what I have to do is I'd go up here to the coordinates. See, I've got my x, my y, and my w coordinate, and the width. Sorry. So what I could do is I could go, well, that's 320 by 29. Well, then I copy that and I paste that in there like so that they're on the same level. There we have it. Now those two things are the same level on the y-axis, and then I just mirror that on the x-axis to do the stuff like that. But I think that's good enough for what we're trying to achieve. So I think that's good enough, penguin. Just one last thing. I'll just move his arms out ever so slightly so they're not so tucked into his body. And there we have it. So now we got a penguin. All right, so nice and simple. I'm not going to do legs. I could do legs, and again, I just do something like I create a 3-point thing, but then I'm going to have to start messing around with gradients, with layers. Sure. I'm here now. Let's just give him 2 little feet. And what I'll do is so that you can see the layers. Let's click on the layers. View my layers. Where are my layers? There they are. Add another layer. Add a layer 2 above this. And then what I'll do is I'll stick my layer 2 underneath it. And then I'll grab these 2 parts here. Come here to me. I'll grab you and move you. So move layer. And I'll move you down to layer 2. So that you fall underneath the body. Are you falling down there? No. Move layer. No. I'm going to get rid of his feet. Because if I want to do his feet, I would have done them first. So just like I said, see the way I have his body and then the beak and then the eyes. If I want to have them layered, you kind of want to do them in order, or else you want to create a whole bunch of layers to make that work. So let me just remove this layer just so that it's not getting in the way. There. Yeah. So I think that's good enough, penguin. What do you think? I think that's good enough for what we're trying to achieve. So what I can do up here is I can go up to File. So whatever I want to do, File, Save As. Yeah. So File, Save As. So now I've got everything I want to save this as. So I can save it as the Inkscape SVG, or I can save it as the plain SVG. Now, I'm pretty sure that Inkscape SVG will actually just save it as an SVG that is editable in Inkscape, and then plain SVG is just the plain the plain files. So what I'll do is I'll stick him on my desktop, and I'll call him PENGU. Yeah, Pengu will do me fine. So there we have you, Pengu. Let's save you there. All right, and what I'm also going to do while I'm here, I'm going to save as a PNG as well. So I'll control save, and I'll save you as a PNG. So let me see, where is my PNG format? EPS, PF, PNG. Yeah, that will do. Pengu, I'll save you there as well. Now let's just take a look. All right, so here we go. Pull you down, and let's see, where is my desktop? My desktop is here. And where did I put my Pengus? So there's Pengu. Just open you up again, just to make sure you're opening. And I'll save you as an Inkscape SVG. So that is what it's doing. So Inkscape SVG. Inkscape SVG is going to save them as a editable one. So I'll also save them as an Inkscape edit. So I can come back to him later on in later courses. So there we have that. Should you not export to PNG? I could export to PNG. I just don't know where he's being saved when I export him to a. You see, I should have probably showed you that. Let me just go in here. So here is my Pengu. You can go to export as PNG. That's just a quick option. But what happens when you click that, it goes off someplace, and because I've got just so many files on my computer, just so many files, I'll never find it. So I usually love to go to save as, because that gives you all the options. Yeah, so, because what if I might have seen a different file type there that I wanted to save it to as well. So I like going to file save as, it just gives you more control. Source and destination files are the same, that's fine. All right, so here are my penguins. Let me just move them into a new folder, and I'll be back here now. So let me just put you into color slides. Perfect. All right, so there's Pengu, and there's Pengu. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, so I've got you, created my vector penguin. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go into my CodePen account. Whoop. CodePen.io. Create a new pen, sorry. There we have you. Now, there's loads of ways I can do this. Well, because of course it's an SVG, if I right click on my SVG, I can edit in Notepad. Yes, so I can edit this in Notepad, and this is what's underneath it all. Yeah, so that's everything that's underneath all of that stuff there. It's all just, it's XML. Remember SVG is based on is a graphic, described using XML, so I can use that, and I can actually just paste that directly into my HTML if I like, and he should come up. Ah, there he is. So there's my penguin. Yeah, coming up just by pasting in the paths. Now there is another one. The microphone is messed up. So I was drinking coffee there. I might have been scratching my microphone. But how's the sound coming out to you guys? Can you all hear me correctly? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, that was me. Yeah, that was me touching the mic with a coffee cup. Sorry about that. All right, I'll just move it a little bit further away from me. There we go. All right, and let's just do it the other way as well. So let me just go to Shaw Academy. Actually, I want to go to GoDaddy. Oh, I've got you open. Fantastic. So I'll just go over here, and what I'll do is I'll choose File. I'll go to my desktop, right there. I'll go to Color Slides, and I'll go to pengu.svg, and I'll open you, and starting upload. There it is, it's uploaded. So now I should also be able to include it just like I would a normal image. So either I can do all that kind of stuff, and as you can see, I can do all that stuff as well. So so stroke color, let me just make that 0F0. Now where's that stroke color coming in? So you can see the way I'm actually able to edit the actual file itself. Because it's an XML language, I can actually just edit the file itself. And of course, we can mess around with JavaScript and CSS as well. And I'll actually, I said that I'd show you how to trace one. The problem is that we wouldn't actually get through that in an hour. And I want to show you all that other stuff as well. But what I will do is I will stick up a nice tutorial done by CSS Tricks. Because you will just copy paste a bit of JavaScript to get the width of the line and stuff like that. But that will be a nice thing just to explore in your own time as well. But for SVG graphics as web designers, this is really where we're going. To animate SVGs, I know it is possible to do with CSS and JavaScript, but it's really better for a developer to do it. Can I add some animation for it? I won't do it right now. You know what? Let me save this and let me explore more of animation with SVG, because this is a brand new thing to myself as well. I only started working with SVGs just a few months ago, because it was immensely fun when I first saw an image and I could do this. No, I can't do that there. Anyway, the first time I saw an image, let's open up that image. So it was cdn.shawacademylive.com /videos/pengu.svg. Is that where it is? Yeah, there he is. Yep. So now he's up there online. So let me just copy that address. Let me just link to him as well, like that. So if I went img src is equal to you, and alt is equal to pengu, pengu. Yeah, so you can add it just like a normal image as well. So there you have it. And you can make them as big as you want. So if I had image, and if I had width of, say, let's pick a big number, 500 view widths. Now, let's see how big he is. Yeah, so you see how big he is? See how big we can grow him up? And the size will always be the same. You know, it's always going to be downloading that same amount of data, which is fantastic, because you can just keep scrolling in and look at those lines. Just look how crisp those lines are there. Like, you know, they don't pixelate. That's what it's really for. Eventually, when you get big enough, if you were to grow them, like, as massive, well, then eventually you might start seeing the gradients, because, you know, there is a finite number of colors visible to the human eye, so eventually you would start to pick out the gradient stops. But if you were to have a black and white image, there would be absolutely no loss in quality anywhere. So there's our penguin, and there's loads of ways we can add that. And because we're already here, let us also add an image to this. Let me just trim him back down to his auto size. Okay. Actually, I don't need any CS in there at all. It's just wasting space. So now, like I said, I also said that we can add videos as well. So we can also add videos. Now, the problem I was having the last lesson is trying to load up an MOV file inside the Chrome browser, which doesn't work very well. So what I'm going to do this time is I am going to open up Handbrake, HND. So what I did do before lesson is I opened up this fantastic little application here called Handbrake. Like I said, any of you who have experience with when the iPod video first came on the scene, this is probably the application you were using to convert all your videos for it, because it gave you really small video sizes and you had all the preset settings there and everything like that. So what I can do is I just select the source, but to be nice and quick about it, what I will do is I will just grab my Be Water My Friend, it's an AVI file, and drop it into the source. And there we have it, scanning title of 1. There it is. Now what I'll do here, so I'm going to keep it, so now I'm going to convert my AVI to a MP4. So I want the MP4 because that's nice and good for web. I'm also going to click this button that says Web Optimized. I honestly have not read their documentation to find out what this button means, but I can assume that it optimizes it for the web. So it must throw out some sort of data, or it must just fix it up in some kind of way. It's pretty self-explanatory though. Web Optimized just kind of makes sense. But I do know, choose a destination is the next thing. So I'll just put that also into color slide as well. And we'll call this Be Water. Save. And then I just click start. And then it will just start converting that video for me. All right. So that will start doing that. And yeah, so I'll just leave that run. Now what happens is that once that's exported, that's going to convert that to an MP4 video. Now you've got so many settings here, and of course as well, if you wanted to be a little bit faster about it. Now I prefer trying to go in and using Handbrake, because what it means is that you can fiddle around with these settings. So especially when you're trying to send like a few videos, I was very impressed with how small a file size I could get it using this, and all it took was 10 minutes fiddling around with the settings. Exporting a piece of the video, and then seeing the lowest file size you could get for the good quality. And because I'm not a video editor, 10 minutes of my time is not a lot of time, is certainly no time at all to just click a few buttons to see what the smallest file size I can get out of the video. And then perfect for the web. No need to hire anyone else, no need to go and outsource to anyone else as well. All it took was 10 minutes of clicking around a few buttons. So I'll go into my Shaw Academy Live CDN. So I actually put that video up here, bewatermyfriend.mp4. So before class,
Empty
I already
your
loaded it
mind.
up here. Whoop, it's getting loud. So I already stick it up there. So if I want to add that in HTML, so I've already got the video hosted on the web, so I can load it up in CodePen. So what I'm going to have to do is, come back to me. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is VIDEO. Video is going to have a width of 400 pixels, and it's going to have a height, HEIGHT, a height of, actually what I should do is I will right click on my video, and I will go to its properties. I will pull up its properties here. Let's see, does this give me the same properties as a Mac would? So frame width, 1408, 1080. So let's take those values. 1408, 140. Actually, you know what? We'll keep it as 400 because it's going to get too big on CodePen. But 400 and then say 320 pixels. Yeah, just for this demo. So there's my video, my width and my height. That's perfect. And oh yes, and I also want to add some controls. So CONTROLS. So there's my controls. Now I need and I'll close that off before I forget, VIDEO. And now I just need to add the source. SOURCE, and the SRC is equal to right. That's the source up there. So I'll just place that in there like so. And type is going to be VIDEO/MP4. And that should do me fine. I'll put you like that. And yep, that should load him up down here. So there we have it.
Empty your mind.
Full of controls, full
He's
of everything.
formless, shapeless, like water. Now you...
Yes, so that's how we can add video in HTML5, and if any of you are veterans as well of the web, you will see how much nicer that is. And look at that interface. Like that's a very nice, like for adding a video in, and these beautiful click buttons. Like it's very smooth. It's very nice volume. It's very nice skip forward, skip back buttons, and a very nice volume button as well. As well as, let's not forget, full screen built in just into the HTML5 video tag. And of course, if you want to add audio, AUDIO. Just exactly the same AUDIO, except with audio tags, and then you've got pretty much the same thing but without the video. Yes, without the video box. So you've just got your audio. And because I'm running an MP4, it can do the same thing. What if the video ratio is different from the size I said? It should actually be different. So let me just check that again. VIDEO. VIDEO. Can I autoplay? Yes, I can autoplay. AUTOPLAY.
Empty your mind.
So autoplay will
He's formless.
So that's so you just add you can add in though. I'd recommend just going on and finding all the different properties you can add to videos online and stuff like that, because there's a lot of them, and there should be more coming out over the next few months as well. I cannot wait for CSS4 to come out. Ooh, I was reading an article. So I'm sure a lot of you have been messing around with CSS. Has anyone tried to pick a parent selector yet? Yeah? Has anyone tried to do a parent selector? You know, it's very easy to find, you know, if you have a paragraph that sits inside a div that sits inside the body, very easy to grab that paragraph, you know, because if I want the paragraph that sits inside a div and sits inside the body, it's like BODY, and then it goes div, and I could have my div, so a div with a class of my div, and then I want to select all paragraphs in that div. What if I want to select all my divs that have a paragraph in them? Not possible with CSS yet. It is possible in CSS4, and I can't wait for that. I cannot wait. It's going to really, really help out everyone. You kind of have to go into JavaScript and do real trickery to go back through the tree. But CSS4 will help us out with that. Anyway, so I'll save that pen there, so you can have that. So you've got autoplay, you've got controls. Let me just change that. So if I was to change the width to 600.
Empty your mind.
It won't actually make a difference. I'm just actually extending the width of the actual frame. Actually, just make sure. It shouldn't actually make a difference.
Empty your mind.
Yeah, so I'm just actually extending the width of the frame. Do you see? Do you see the way the controls have spanned out so much further than the actual video? Do I have any recommendations on advantages, disadvantages to loading into YouTube and referencing that video on your website versus loading the video on your site directly? See, that's a thing that's been coming on a lot recently. For SEO purposes, it's actually better for you to load... All right, for SEO purposes, if you are having an active campaign on YouTube, like if you're driving people to your YouTube page and that's part of your SEO and that's part of your SEO strategy, well then it's absolutely fine. But if you're using something like YouTube to host your videos and you're not driving any traffic to that site, or you're not driving any traffic from YouTube to your site, you're just using it as the frame, not the best thing for your SEO. You should try to work it into your own HTML, because you're just giving YouTube a backlink and you're not getting anything in return. So that's just something to think about. Sometimes for you know, for compatibility, because YouTube loads up everywhere. So stuff like that, like YouTube will load up everywhere. So if you were having trouble with your video, you just load it up on YouTube and you mirror it that way. But, you know, small SEO points for sucking it in. Plus, you're able to style this whole player yourself. So there's so you can go out and check that as well. There's ways to style the player. There's ways to take things away. There's ways to add things in as well. So that's the video player. That's the SVG. And I think that was that. The next thing to do was to create that SVG into... Can you expand the video to become responsive? I'd say you can as well. You should be able to set a width of 100%. Let me just... delete. Let's just see what our CSS works on this. Let me just
Empty your mind.
Sorry.
Be formless.
You guys can't hear that, but every time I reload the page, it starts blaring in my ears. Let me just pull this up here. Control C. Very quickly. Let's put you above the penguin, just so we can... I don't have to keep scrolling down. So there he is. So that's its original size. That's it without its size. So what if I went target my video tag, VIDEO, video, and I gave that a width of, say, 100%. Whoop, percent. There we have it. So now I've got a responsive video. Let's see what happens when I resize my browser. Put you over there. There we have it, responsive video. So I can give it a width. So it's just like any other tag because it's just because it's a video tag. So it's like our image placeholder. So I'm able to just do that, and it just fits in there. I'll actually do that to my images as well. IMG. Yep. So there we have it. So responsive video, responsive penguin. Perfect. Ah, look at him. He's floating. What's he doing? I don't know why that's happening. Oh, sorry, that's my mouse. I thought that was some cool trick that I hadn't discovered. Anyway, okay, so that's all that done. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to animate this guy. So let's break into another application. So far we've covered a bit of Inkscape. We've covered uploading videos onto the web, editing video. Well, not really editing videos, but converting them. We've got using a bit of CSS just to make our stuff responsive. Pengu, the responsive penguin. Thank you very much for that, Robert. Let's take that and we'll put that up here. Perfect. Pengu, the responsive penguin. So that's up on CodePen now. So let's see, what else do we want to do? We also want to, so we've got half an hour to get into SketchUp and also to get into GIMP as well. So let us grab Pengu. I'll right click and I will edit with GIMP. Perfect. So we'll open this up, and this now this application can actually take a little while to load. Let me see. I can move you. So sometimes the GNU image manipulation program, it can take quite a long time to load. Sometimes, especially if you've updated your fonts recently, the longest time it really takes is trying to grab all the fonts from your computer to include them. So there's my PNG. Now, what to do with you? So I've got you open. So let me get out my layers. View, Windows, filters, tools, and I want to see my layers. Show grid, show that. Can I already see my layers? Is it on a different screen? Sorry. This should normally all be opened by default. So Windows, toolboxes. I've got my toolbox, Windows. Where are my layers? Does anyone know where my layers are on a Windows machine using this application? On a Mac, it's beautiful. Everything opens up immediately. Of course I want to see my layers. Sorry. On the main menu line. So all you Mac users, thank you. Dockable dialogues, layers. There you go. So dockable dialogues and layers. So there we have it. All right. So there's my layers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. New layer name. It's going to be layer. Create a new layer name. It's going to be layer. Just for now, I'll just keep those lights. So, all right. So what I will need to do is I will need to start editing this image ever so slightly. So what I will do, just for the sake of this demo, is that I will just make him blink. So what I will do is I'll use this little selector up here. Sorry, where's my fuzzy selector? There you have him. So I'll use this magic wand. You can't select him very easily. You're selecting the whole image. All right, well then I'll just have to do you the old-fashioned way. So what I'll do is I'll just control the whole image. I'll put you in here. So I'm selecting the next layer up and I'm pasting the image on it. Oh, sorry, to new layer. Ah, sorry, I know what I was doing. I had the wrong layer open, so let me just get rid of these layers just for a second, just to make it easier to work with. So delete those layers for me. Delete and delete. So what I'm going to do, so something that you will notice in GIMP is that you have to make, well, in all these applications where you have layers, make sure you have the right layer selected before you start editing the image. Otherwise, you'll be wondering why I couldn't use my fuzzy select there, or why you can't edit the right image. So there's that. There's Windows, dockable dialogues. That's single window mode because I would like that toolbox to come over here again so I can see all my options. Thank you. Perfect. And Windows, recent close, dockable. I also want my tool options. There we have it. Alright, so I know on a Mac that these all open by default. I don't know why they wouldn't all open by default on a Windows. I'm sure that you can get them to do that. But what I want to do, so you see what's happening with my fuzzy select. So I click here, yeah, and then I click here. And you see I want to select them both at the same time. So I want to use this option here to add to the current selection. So if I hold that down and I click there, you see it's selecting it all at once. That's what I want. So I can Control-C that. And then I can just Control-V, and it should be able to, and it will go to a floating section, and then I'll go, yep, oh, well that will work, and then I can Control-V again, and then to new layer, and then Control-V again, and then to new layer, and Control-V again to new layer. Now I'll start hiding my layers, so I'll work with this one first of all. I'll work with that layer. So let's see, how can I do this? What I will need to do is I will need to just color him in ever so slightly. So let me just grab my paintbrush, and I'll do a quick crude job of this. I'm just grabbing a nice black color, a dark color. So that will do. Is that dark black? No, that's more of a navy. Let's go with, is that? Yes, that will do. Perfect. So you'll actually see how handy it is to do simple things like this just with a GIF. So there we have that. Well, I didn't want it to go outside my layers. Control-Z, Control-Z. So what I'll do is fuzzy select. Now paint. Yeah, there we go. So do you see what happened there? I used my fuzzy select to select my eyes again because I was able to paint outside the whiteness. So I use my fuzzy select so I can now be more cavalier with my brush strokes. Because I've selected just the whiteness, and now I'm coloring it in, but it's not going to let me color outside my lines. So that's one. Let's go up to the next one. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of better ways to do this as I do it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this layer, and I'm going to paste it down again. And then I'm going to go to new layer, because now I can just continue painting on it. So perfect. So now I will just use my fuzzy select again, and select you, and then I will use my paintbrush again. There you have it. So I'll use you to go down there. Get you about halfway. There we have that. Color you in. Alright, that's fine. And then Control-A. Color in those extra lines. That will do. And then Control-A, Control-C, Control-V to new layer. And then we'll just make this one go down really far, like so. Control-Z, fuzzy select. Paint, bring this one down, all the way down to here. There we have that, and there we have that. Boom, 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 boom. And almost there, almost there. Last thing to do, Control-A, color in the eyes, because his eyes are closed now. There we have that, cover in those eyelids there. Alright, and then one last time, Control-A, Control-V to new layer. Let's hide the ones beneath it. And the last time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up. Control-Z, fuzzy, fuzzy. And then I will go this, like so. And I'll actually leave those 2 white lines there because it kind of looks like his eyes are closed like that. Perfect. So, the next thing I need to do is to start animating these things. Alright, so how did I do this last time? So I had to give these timing functions. So what I want to do, let me view all my things first of all. So let's see how this animation is looking. Yeah, that will do. Yep, that will do us fine. He looks actually a little bit scary with those eyes, but let's just work with this for now. So filters, animations, and I want to optimize. I want to playback. No, I don't want to playback. I want to, playback. Ah, there we have him. What's happening here? Oh, it's working. All right, it's working ever so slightly. Alright, so we got you working like that. So now I know that there is a way to actually set the timing function of this as well. I have forgotten. I have forgotten how to set my timing function. It was something like this. I wonder if I still have my Hidden Tiger Magical Lion Club GIF. 100. Let's see if that works. Ooh, what's going on there? Alright, tools, filters, animation, and optimize for GIF and playback. Let's see how you're doing now. Are you still... Yeah, that will do. So, file, save as, of course, as always. So save as, go over here. So I want to save you as a GIF. What I will do is I will just... it's not giving me the option. Select file type by extension. There we go. GIF. I'll put you on my desktop. I will stick you in color slides. That should work. So let me just save you as a GIF. Pengu.gif. The given file name cannot be used for saving. File, save as. There we have it. So sorry guys. File, export as, GIF. Desktop, color slides, export. GIF. There we have it, as an animation. So here's the big part of the animation. We have to click as animation, loop forever, delay between frames were unspecified. So delay between frames were unspecified. Let's go with 100 milliseconds. And yeah, that's fine. Use delay entered above for all frames. And we'll keep that out. So export. So now let's open that up. So there's my pengu.gif. Let's see, can I just quickly open you up with Google Chrome? Where's my open with? Google Chrome. There we have him. So there we have him. And now our nice cute penguin is now very demonic with his crazy non-stop blinking. So of course that is just a demo of how to make a GIF. So of course this is scalable. So you can take anything. So if you spend a little bit more time and you take a little bit more care, well then we can get something a little bit better. Let me see if I can just pull up my HIDDEN TIGER XCF. Now, my Hidden Tiger Magical Lion GIF, the one that I made in my first week here, is so far in my file structure I don't think it's ever going to return. Anyway, I have the GIF, I have the raw GIF of the Hidden Tiger Magical Lion Club, which was far easier. Pengu the Destroyer. Yes, that's what we'll call this character. This one will be Pengu the Destroyer. And for you all, I'm sure if you ever want to scare your kids, I'll stick them up on the CDN as well. So actually, we'll stick them up on the Facebook group after. So so far for the Facebook group, we've got Pengu the Destroyer, NGU the Destroyer, DSTROYER, and we've just got regular old Pengu, PNGU, the vector. So that will do that. And next up, we are going to create some 3D text. So we're going to mess around with just SketchUp as well, just to see what we can do in here. So here we go. So SketchUp. So here we go. So just start using SketchUp. No need for us to buy it, really. Where's my SketchUp application? There it is. All right. So file. Just waiting for it to respond. Might have to close down just a few of the other applications. What I'll do is I'll close down Inkscape. Close without saving. There we have it. So I've got a basic scene there. So let me just go to the controls so I can use you to move. I can use you to move you around. I'll leave you there. But what I will do is I will rotate my scene ever so slightly. So there we go. Ooh, and there's actually a tutorial here as well. I haven't seen that. There's a tutorial there for you to use as well. What I will do is I'll just take you, I'll delete you out of my scene, and I'll spin my scene around ever so slightly so I can see where I'm looking at. There we go. Grab my scene over here. All right, now what I want to do is I want to put in some 3D text. So tools, 3D text, absolutely perfect. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to enter some text. So what would you like me to say? What would you like me to say in 3D text? Let's leave it up to the group. What do you guys want to say? Because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to load up some 3D text. I'm going to save it as a 3D file. And then I'm going to see if I can load it up in a VR framework nice and quickly. So what would you like me to say? AWD? AWD, AWD it is. AWD. Thank you, everyone. Perfect. Ooh, yes, actually, yeah. Sorry there, Tassir. All right, perfect, and we'll see if we can load a Pengu as well. All right, so let's place that in there. We can also change the font type, so let's see if we can get some Gothic font in here. Do I have any actual Gothic font though? Not the nice Gothic font. I want the kind of I want this. Let's see, which one can we use? That will be a nice font. Rockwell extra bold will be nice and big and bold. Height is 10 inches. That should be fine. So there we go. Now I'm going to have to spin you around ever so slightly. So where is my rotation? Is right there. Now this seems to be the hardest thing to do, is figuring out how to rotate things in this thing in a 3D space. So let me see if I can put you over like so. I don't want to do that. Nope. I would like to move it over there. So what I can do is I'll move my scene around, and I'll use you to spin me around so I can take a look at the side. And then what I want to do is I want to zoom in ever so slightly, move you up there, and then I'll take my rotation cup and I'll put you there. I'll spin you up like so. Take that as my angle, and there we go. Now it'll be facing over there, and now I can just spin my scene around again, put you over there. So I will say it is quite annoying to have to select each and every one every time I want to. It is quite annoying every time I have to select a new button. Every time I just want to do simple things, but hey, it's worth it for 3D text. So there we have that. There is one more thing I need to change on this. My depth is not very good. So let me just see, where are you? So tools, 3D text. PENGU, the DESTROYER, and let's just go, so the depth can be 5. Let's see what happens there. Extruded, 10, 5, Rockwell extra bold. Yeah, that's more like it, so put you there. I'll get rid of this. Whoop, stay there, please. And I'll use my selector to select you, delete you there for now. I'll put you over there, and we'll take you, and we'll rotate you, we'll take you with this move tool, put you there. Then we'll take rotation tool, and what I'll do is I'll move my scene around, and I'll spin myself around so I can grab it from the side, and then I can grab you like so. There we have it. Great. The way that I want to turn it, like so. I'll spin myself back around so I can see what I'm looking at, and then I'll grab you, and I'll bring you up. I'll grab you. I'll bring you up a little bit higher. Perfect. There we go. And just to make sure I'm actually looking at it from the right level. All right, well that will do me fine, because what I can do is I can just zoom in like this, and I can just adjust my scene ever so slightly so I'm looking at it like that. So that will do. Put you up just above the line. I'll drag myself up like so. And spin you around just so I've got you at the right angle. We'll which is about there. Just to the left again. So there we have it. There we have it. So file, export. So always, so you've seen this all now. So file, export. File, export, and we'll go 3D model. So there we have it. And Claudia file, DAE. Yep. My I know that A-frame does take DAE. What other files do I have an option here? 3DS. Don't want that. XLS. An object file. You can also take object files. I think the DAE file is a nice, easy one to work with, though. So let me put this here, and I'll stick this also on my desktop, and I'll put you also in color slides. So I'll call you PENGU TEXT. pengutext.dae. I'll export you there. There we have you. All right. So next thing up. So now I've put you in there. Let me just quickly get into my my Shaw Academy CDN folder. I've got a. So let me see. So let's see how much stuff I put in here now. There should be that much. Be water, my friend. Perfect. Let's upload something in here. Last thing to upload is going to be my DAE file. So pengu.dae. There's no texture there, which is perfect. pengutext.dae. There we have that. That's fine. Now, what I'll do is I'll just go into codepen.io. Actually, instead of having something... no, sure, I might as well. So what I'll actually go to is I'll go to A-frame. I'll actually just grab their boilerplate just to load it up a little bit faster. So we'll go to A-frame, and we'll get started. And we'll play with CodePen. Got you. Perfect. That will do me. And I just need to find your 3DDAE files. So object files, primitive, introduction, a object, nope, a video, a asset, a clone, a Collida model. That's exactly what I need. So that will actually do. So I can actually just take your example right there. Thank you very much for that A-frame. I'm just going to take that from you. Do I lose my scene? Nope, that will do me fine. And my source file is going to be inside here. Let's see, where did I put that the last time? There we go. I can take you to get me there faster. Control-C. Go back into my Hello World wireframe. Hello World frame, sorry. So ID is 3. That will be fine for now. Actually, you know what? I'll just mark up the document so it makes sense to anyone who's looking at it later. So PENGU. PENGU text. TEXT. That will be PENGU TEXT. Define the URL in line. I don't want to do that. That will be fine. And then the last thing I have to do is paste that in there. Didn't take the full URL. Sorry, 2 seconds. cdn.showacademy.com. Control-A, Control-C. And I called it pengutext.dae, I'm pretty sure. So let me try that now. Just make sure that's what I called it. Show Academy CDN. Come here, file manager. pengutext.dae. Yep, that's exactly what I called it. So let me just put that in after there. pengutext.dae is what it is. Ooh, there's one thing that's not going to happen. Are we going to be able to see it, though? Because it's not going to be in... It's in white. That shouldn't matter. A assets... So let me just go in here very quickly. Make sure full screen. Zoom out so I can see what's going on. Where can I set my scene background? It's sky. A sky. A sky. A-S-K-Y. Thank you. Give me my sky. Because I would like to set a sky color. That will do me very well. A sky. Do I need to wrap everything in a sky? I shouldn't have to wrap everything in a sky, but let's see what happens. Control-V. I guess I do. Control-V. Take you out there. Put you up there. there we have it. So there's my A-frame framework. Now, can I find my Claudia file? Inspect. Is it able to load? I know what will work nice and quickly, so let's just do that. So where's my Notepad++ application? That's my Eclipse, that's my boilerplate. Sorry guys, not always going to plan with these things. Alright, example stocks. Last thing. If you have any questions, guys, go ahead and start typing that up there, because we'll be moving fully into question time in the next 5 minutes anyway. So I'm just going to grab the actual bootstrap. Could you use WordArt to get the 3D text? I think that WordArt doesn't actually have 3D in it. WordArt is, I think it's. Did you guys do the spinning cube with me? Did you guys do spinning dices with me? Where I made spinning dices in CodePen just for the fun, just to look at transform. So what that is doing is that's taking 2D objects and then it's using transform to make them look 3D. Do you know, like the way you're able to draw 3D boxes on your copybook by just creating the optical illusion? I think that's how WordArt works. There actually is no depth to it, unlike which would be unlike something like the 3JS. Or unlike A-frame, where it actually does have a z-index where you can go in and go out. I'm pretty sure that WordArt is just using standard image trickery. Perfect. All right, so there's my A-frame boilerplate. Excellent. So there we have it. Let me just open up index.html. Go back, A-frame boilerplate, back to downloads. Take you. Put you on my desktop. There's my A-frame boilerplate, and there's the file. So edit with Notepad++. There we go. And hopefully I've cleared my my copy word. Yeah, perfect. Ascene, save, and Pengu should be there, but I don't need to put you up there. Yeah, let's see what happens now. So save you, and let's open you up and see what happens. Will I be able to see my text? It's loading. Inspect. Now, why can't you find my file? Why can't you find my 3D file? A sky. I've got my entity. Got my entity there. Where are my assets? I've got a sky here. Assets. Oh, sorry, I've gone very quiet on the mic here. Sorry, just while I'm thinking. Copy link address. Let's just see what happens if I go in here. Oh yeah, it is downloading. So it's able to see it. I just don't know why it's not loading. Anyway, new kind of stuff. What I will do is I will just go into my secret projects, which isn't here, but it's actually really secret now. So SECRET. PROJECTS. So what I will do, just for a workaround, I'll go in here, something I've already made, and we'll grab that text there, inspect that. What I can do is I can go up to my assets up here, and I can just grab, so that's show courses, that's background, that's the untitled.dae. I'm going to edit that. I'll just paste that link in there. Hopefully that will work. Let's go back into C-Shaw. Oh, no, it's not good. It's not going to allow me to reload the darn page like that. Ah well. All right. Well, you can hopefully see what I'm trying to do. Hopefully you see what I'm trying to do. Can you change the font color of the 3D text in SketchUp? Yes, you can actually. Yes, you can. And if you do that, it will actually export a texture file with it as well. Let me just see if I mess around here for a second. 3D warehouse, change axis, flip along, smooth edges, dynamic components. What are these? Oh, what did I open up there? There are no dynamic components. What a scene refer to? A scene is how we load up a scene using the A-frame framework. The A-frame framework is just a virtual reality 3D framework for virtual reality websites. So you start your virtual scene by dictating with the tags a scene. That's all that's happening there. If you suck the introduction to web design into your dashboard and take a look at lesson 8, I always go into A-frame at lesson 8 and the last lesson of the introduction course. So let me just see if I can grab photo textures. What's that? Nothing there. Styles. Oh, there's loads of stuff in here. All right. I have not actually seen this right-hand pane in here before, but let me just see if I go colors. And let me just take a look around the side here. Yep, so we got that. There we go, so there's a nice color. Let me edit that. Nope, I don't want that though. I would like some different materials. How do I go backwards? Components, sampler. No. There's so much stuff in here. Oh, look at all this stuff. There's so much stuff inside this application I hadn't discovered before. Ooh, this is turning out to be a very exciting class for me. I'm going to have great fun later on. See if we can do some more stuff with this. So we got that. We got couches. Anyway, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of exploring the application to see what I can find. Window. Yeah, so there we have it. So now I've got a color on that. You can also add textures, and then that's how I did this one up here. If you actually take a look at that file, underneath all that. Oh well, I can't go in there. I can't just go rooting around inside my own server from there, but I could go into GoDaddy. But that's just going to take too much time. So do we have any questions so far with these applications that we're using? Any questions so far with the applications that we're using? Because where this is going to come in is next week. So next week we are going to be doing start to finish building a company website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and it's going to come out with the requirements. So I'm going to, go a little schizophrenic and I'm going to pretend that I'm a client and I'm also the web designer. I'm going to start asking myself some questions that I imagine a client, I'm just going to take questions that the clients have asked me in the past. And we're going to start working out requirements. And then we'll have a discussion with that on Thursday. We'll have a proper discussion with that on Thursday. We'll start discussing, content priority, where everything should go. Then we'll start sketching up some wireframes. And then on the Thursday class, we're going to be building the whole site from start to finish as quickly as we can in that 1 full hour. And we're going to do that with our good planning process that we'll go through on Tuesday. So, yeah. So guys, honestly, like I know. I was flailing for a little bit there with the 3D text and stuff. But look, in 1 hour, in the space of an hour, we managed to create a vector icon penguin that we could then upload into the web and then edit it using the XML language. We were able then to also export that as a PNG image and make a terrifying GIF that went around the place. I was able to upload all those files to the server, and then we were able to load up videos. We were able to convert a video, load it in, change that video to audio, and load that up using just a video tag. And then after that, we were able to create 3D text. Now, unfortunately, I didn't manage to put the cherry on the cake of getting it loaded up in here. But what I will do is I will save this anyway. Fork. What I will do is I'll save this up and I will make this work. I will make this work in my own time because I don't like getting beaten by these browsers. So I will figure out where that text is. I've got a feeling that it's there. I have a feeling that it's there. I just can't see it. I probably have to set the camera model. Anyway. Perfect. Will a website's performance degrade when you use A-frame to display products on a product page, for example? What you would want to do, Johan, is create a separate page away from your website, because not everything is able to handle A-frame. It's really for Mozilla and Chrome, and it's really for people with virtual reality glasses. Like if even when I go into this, it doesn't look great. You can do much better things with in a 2D space, and it's much easier to navigate a 2D space and everything. This is like a gimmick. It's like something to reduce your bounce rate. So if you had a range of products, for example, you probably pick one and do it very highly detailed and get it nice and compressed, which is just kind of like the wow factor. The customer comes in, they're still able to see all your products in a very easy to navigate manner. They're able to filter them, but then as a little bonus, it's like click here, see what happens. You click there and you've got a 3D representation of the product. But unfortunately, for the time being, we are still stuck in the 2D space. The the virtual reality gear is still kicking off, but hey, it all works in the browser so far. We're able to load up, basic scenes, and there's loads of virtual reality sites out there. I know that Star Wars did great stuff with virtual reality when they were broadcasting that movie, and that came out months ago. We're still just waiting for all the big games. We're just waiting for that one big game. Yeah. So Pokemon Go came out. That's spearheading augmented reality. That's making augmented reality an actual feasible thing now. Because now it just works. The amount of people signing up to Pokemon Go, the amount of money you could make off advertising with Pokemon Go if you structured it well enough. So that's going to pave the way for augmented reality. Something Google wasn't able to do with their Google Glasses. They couldn't, they put those out into the world, they started testing, and they've kind of been really put on the back burner for a good while now because they just weren't good enough. There was just the apps didn't do anything special. There was nothing really fun about them. Yes, so Pokemon Go is only partially VR. You are very correct, Wayne. And there's plenty of apps that were actually predating Pokemon Go. There's just Google augmented reality. Sorry, not Google. Check on the Play Store, check in the App Store for augmented reality. You'll find apps going all the way back to 2009 that are doing the exact same thing as Pokemon Go. It's just Pokemon Go is a huge takeoff because of the nostalgia effect. Because I'd say every single person here at Shaw Academy probably has Pokemon Go on their phone. But that's a bad metric because I don't play it. I got to, I think, level 4 and then I stopped playing. And that's all that happens. That's really what happened to, and that's what happened to Nintendo as well. Unfortunately, they had so many people downloading the app, so many users, but not regular users. So it's been a bit tainted. You should definitely download Pokemon. Like when all these new stuff comes out, like when Pokemon comes out, it's a new augmented reality app that's loading up on a phone, and that's where your web designs are going to be loading up. So when something new like this comes out, I would highly recommend that you download it. You don't have to play it, you don't have to get involved, but you should certainly download it just to see the technology that's involved and just to see how far this technology is going. Yeah, because Pokemon Go is very basic. It is very basic. It hasn't even got and exactly, you get ideas. You get great ideas out of it. So whenever a great new app comes on the scene, I download it, I try it out. Sorry. There's a huge resource. I was with my dad there 2 nights ago. He was up in Dublin, and we were discussing color apps for interior designing, and how to get point your camera at something and get the color. So he was showing me some app that he was very excited about, but I was showing him something else. Have you looked up Adobe Color on your phone yet? Yeah? COLOR .adobe.com. If you haven't, what I'll do now is I'll stick this in the, let me see, will it give me a link right here? Where is the app? Ooh, Adobe, you should give a link to the app right there because it's such a good app. All right, what I'll do is I'll have to Google it. So, color, color.adobe app. color.adobe.com. I'll put it before it. The app for color.adobe.com. There you go, Google, natural language. All right, I guess you're going to have to search for it in the Play Store. iPhone. IPHONE. So if anyone out there has an iPhone or an Android, do just go to color.adobe.com and it will give you the app at the top. And it will give you the app at the top of the of the website. That's it there. That's it. Perfect. So let me take this. So guys, take a look at this app and just take a look at their color picker. It's absolutely fantastic and it's perfect for web designers. Because what you do, let me just see if I can find the video of this. Especially if you're now this is perfect if you never use Adobe. This is actually a fantastic app for grabbing color schemes, because we were talking about what we were talking about. We're discussing color in nature. Every time how all color can be found in nature and how you can use nature for inspiration, because just the color is just so appealing. You know, like nature is just really nice, so why not use it for its color scheme? It's telling you, look at all these colors, look at me, aren't I beautiful? So why can't we just use those as our color schemes? I wouldn't it be great if you had an app that you could take a picture, and so if you were sitting on the beach and the sea was stormy and the sun was bright, and then the sand was having clouds going over, and you had that huge range bursting color, and it was a really nice scene. Take out your camera, take a picture, and it tells you the color, and it gives you a color palette out of the scheme, just as we did with color.adobe for finding a color scheme for our portfolios. Remember I said you can try and find a photograph that really tries to explain who you are. So I picked a seascape image because that's just what I love. So then you can load that into Adobe Color, and then you will get, and it will give you the color scheme, yeah, which will be kind of appealing to you because you know it's a scene that's already appealing. Color is a huge part of any scene, so chances are that color scene is going to be appealing. But this app is absolutely fantastic for what it can do with selecting color, and I would highly recommend. So I'll stick this up on the Facebook group right now. Let me just see, is this the right one? No, thank you. Let me see.
Hey there, my name is David Miller, and I'm a multimedia.
Sorry, just while we're all here, let me see if this is what I'm looking for. Not really what I'm looking for. No, I'll just stick the app up there anyway, and you'll be able to find it. Just explore it. It's the best way as always. So let me just go to Facebook. Sorry, just hide that. Whoop. And I'll stick this in. I'll actually stick this in Bryan's design resources. All right. So that's where it's going right now. Put you there. Oh, I see a post that needs approval. And check out the color options. Now what this app does as well, you do have to sign in. Now you do have to create an account and sign in, but it's well worth it. I'll post that there. I can see someone is trying to post the group, so I'll let that come in now. So perfect. So coming up next week, we're going to do that full company website. And of course, as always, I'm going to be putting together a website, but I don't want to see that website given back to me. I want to see some variants. So you can use any one of those things. And just let your imagination run wild, all right? Because listen, we are all still, this is part 2 of the diploma. This is the advanced part of the diploma. But let's be honest. Most of us have only been doing most of the people out there have only been doing modern web design just for a couple of months now. So, you know, even though this is the advanced course, we're still kind of at an introductory level, just in our own skill sets. You know, it does take quite a bit of time to get up to up your skill in just anything. You know, what's that general metric they throw around? I don't believe in it, but it's like 10,000 hours to become an expert. So a lot of us are experts in very, very tedious things, but apparently it takes 10,000 hours of participation to become an expert in anything. So of course we are a good bit away from that. A lot of the students are a good bit away from that, but exploring will really, really ramp you up. Yeah. So just keep exploring, keep working away, and things just start to fall into place over time. All right. So let me see what happens here. Dulux Visualizer ZA gives you a live feed from the video. Ooh, that looks very nice. That looks very nice indeed. Sorry, thank you very much for that. Let me just, Dulux Visualizer Zambia. Very good. How many months does it take to become a pro? It doesn't take any months at all, Francois, to become a professional, to declare yourself a professional. All you need to do is take money. All you need to do is get someone to pay you, €5 for a website. You can then call yourself a professional. A professional is someone who does tasks for monetary gain. So once you get paid, then you're a professional. That's all it takes to become a professional out there. So be careful when someone be careful when someone tells you that they're a professional. Make sure you see their portfolio, or make sure they show your work. Don't just take a professional stand as at its face value. So yeah. Yes, Wayne, that's actually very nice. That's actually very nice phrase there. The more you do, the better you become. Everyone is an expert to someone else. Sorry, let me say that again properly. The more you do, the better you become. Everyone is an expert to someone else. Yeah. So that's very good. You are already, like, take a look at what we're doing here, guys. You're already better web designers now than billions of other people on the planet. Literally billions of other people on the planet. You are better web designers than them. So you've put all those behind you. Now let's just start. Keep moving up the level. And believe me, like even after just a few months, have you been trying to hold conversations with other people who don't know about web design? Like the best part of my day is coming to this office and talking to people in my own field, because no one I know, no one I've known for years and years and years, have been able to hold any kind of conversation in the realm of web design. It's just, it's just a very niche thing to get into. So let's see. All right. So guys, we're about 15 minutes over there now. So what I will do, and thank you very much for that there, Michael. I got a fave icon generator right here, so we'll just let that go in there as well. All right, so guys, what I'll do is I will sign off now, and can't wait for next week, where we're going to be creating that company profile. We're going to be creating that company webpage from start to finish, and we'll go through the 6-step design process, and then afterwards we'll go through the testing techniques as well. I'll show you all those applications for testing, and I will be going overtime, so I'll give you plenty of advance now. I'll be going overtime next week, guys, so I'll get as much stuff done that is so I'll get all the important stuff done first, and then afterwards, if you do have to go, you'll be able to drop out and you'll be able to just catch up on the recordings for the extra minutes afterwards. All right, so just to give you a bit of pre-warning that I will be going overtime next week for the next week's advanced courses. But listen, guys, thank you very much. I've had a fun lesson here. I found some new things myself as well, so I want to take a look at over the weekend. I'm sure you guys will be doing some fun exploring. So have a very good morning, a very good evening, a very good afternoon, and a very good night, everybody.